Have you ever had a dream to change the world? Well, this is my story. My dream to change the world. That's me, Maria Moore, as of right now. But what brought me to this place? Where does my story begin? Where am I from? Who am I? That's where I grew up. Do you see it? Chinle, Arizona. Right smack dab in the middle of the Navajo Nation. Home of Canyon de Chelly and White House Monument. Home to my childhood, friends, and high school, where I was first introduced to this book, Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl. That book changed my life. It lit a fire, a desire to know more. It was after that I began to crave more. I read book after book of survival, of death, fiction, non-fiction. I wanted to know. It also created in me an urge to go out and fight injustice. I came to NAU with every intention of becoming the change that I wished to see in the world. I jumped right in, campaigning for my very first presidential election, meeting friends who supported me no matter what I did, participating in events for charity organizations, and attending conferences where philanthropy was a key part. And most importantly, I joined groups that supported diversity and social justice. And I took this class in order to learn more. Part of this assignment was to take a look at what we had learned, and I learned that my previous research was lacking. I learned that resistance happened, and I learned that people will fight back. And I learned there is always more to the perpetrators than what meets the eye. Most importantly, I learned that through the death, the suffering, the struggling, and the horrors, many were able to still find the beauty in the world. Many were able to pull hope out of a horrible situation. It's that idea that inspired me the most. But in order for you to understand the next part, you have to understand my past. This is Our Lady of Fatima Catholic Church in Chinle, Arizona, where I grew up. You see, I was raised Catholic. My mom's Catholic, my dad's Catholic, I'm Catholic. Growing up, I spent a lot of time sitting in those pews, listening to homilies, or reading myself. But my favorite was listening to Father Blaine talk about the fundamentals of the Catholic Church. My favorite Catholic teaching is charity, because my family has roots in that too. You see, my mom's an immigrant from Michoacan, Mexico, and my dad grew up in Florence, Arizona, where his father was a state prison guard. They both grew up in poverty. Although I've never experienced poverty firsthand, I've heard the stories from my parents' childhoods of shoes and white bread. Not to mention, I grew up in a poverty-stricken area of the world. On the reservation, people live in poor living conditions. Houses that are barely standing. Where healthcare is only located in larger cities like my own. Where textbooks are old and ragged, sometimes even older than the students who read them. And where schools would rather spend millions of dollars on a brand new sports complex than new instruments for their arts programs. Because of these reasons and many more, I have begun to look into the ways of fighting poverty. My cause, Catholic Charities, where they provide help and create hope for those families who are born below the poverty line. Those families who need help. Although I have been unable to help out right now, I do plan on helping this organization in the future, working with them to create events. I want to help them put an end to poverty. But for right now, this is where my story ends. But I can only hope that maybe, just maybe, it'll be where yours begins.